In this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about knowing your role as a life group leader. This is something that I process as a pastor a lot. As a pastor, when someone comes into my office for counsel, my role is to give them pastoral counsel. And part of my responsibility in that is to know the difference between pastoral counsel and professional counseling, maybe a therapist or a psychologist. So one of the questions I'm asking is, do I need to disciple someone? Or do I need to help this person get connected to someone that can help them find the freedom and healing that they're looking for? As a life group leader, your role is to lead a life group. And I hope that you hear what I'm about to say as freedom and relief. You are not a therapist, and you don't have to be a therapist. You are not expected to be an expert in the hermeneutical approaches to Leviticus. You don't have to be that. You do not have to be a mental or physical health professional in your group. That's not your role in the group. And when we see that, I think that can provide relief and freedom to us. Because oftentimes we find ourselves dealing in a small group with questions or stories that we're not sure what to do about. And when you know the role of a life group leader, it gives you the ability to say, oh, I don't have to fix that. I can just connect this person to someone who can help. You have the freedom to not have to figure out all of those complicated situations. So here are a couple things that I want to make sure that I say about our role as life group leaders and where the boundaries of that role are. The first is this. If someone in your group expresses the desire or the reality of them harming themselves, another person, doing something that is specifically illegal or suicidal ideation or something along those lines, then the right thing to do is always to refer that person to a professional. Our job as life group leaders is not to be mental health professionals. So you as the life group leader always have the ability to talk to me or someone who's on the pastoral staff. We have a network of professionals, Christian counselors who they are trained to help deal with these things. We have resources in the world of addiction. We have lots of resources to help people find freedom. So when that comes up in a group, this is a place where you ask a good question. You say, hey, can I connect you to someone who can help you find freedom? Or you come to the pastoral staff, do it in confidence. You don't bring it up to the whole group, but in confidence, you come to someone on the pastoral staff and say, here's the situation I'm dealing with. Can you help me deal with this? Can you help me give this person the help they need? As pastoral staff, this isn't the first time we've dealt with these type of situations. So we know how to handle and who to connect people in these harmful situations to. In addition to those times, when someone is harming themselves, another person, or doing something specifically illegal, then always the right thing to do is to bring in a professional. There are other situations that might come up that it's worth noting that it's often helpful to bring in a professional. When someone expresses addiction, when they open up that they have a specific addiction, that can be a wonderful time to connect that person to a professional who can help them find freedom. When someone maybe shares a story about trauma from their life or abuse or trauma from their childhood, then that's something that goes beyond the scope of a life group to help deal with. So it's a wonderful time to connect that person to a mental health professional or to a pastor who is equipped to help them deal with that situation. As a life group leader, you have the wonderful responsibility of connecting people to community, connecting them to Scripture, and creating a place where they actually feel safe enough to share the pains and the hurts of their life. That is a beautiful gift that you are giving. And the wonderful relief of that is that you don't have to do that alone. You can know exactly where your role starts and where it stops so that you can refer people to get the help they need without taking the responsibility of providing that help yourself.